he's a bailiff. He used to be in prison and then in jail, and now he's a bailiff.
Keith, you know something? Between that and mints, the guy's got an addictive
Yeah.
personality. Somebody's charming.
So you didn't get it figured out, huh?
No.
So I guess in the end, I talk a little bit about preserving herbs and stuff. This is apple mint. This is apple mint 24, so I know when I harvested it and stuff. It's in a regular glass jar, but I keep it in the basement in the dark. It'll probably be good for about 2 years. It'll keep its medicinal properties and stuff like that. It'll keep its freshness. It's good for tea and stuff. So when you dry herbs, don't dry them in the sunlight. Light is the enemy of the herbs. It's the enemy. So I've got this sliding glass screen into a screen door that my dog scratched a hole in, so I thought I'd do it. So I keep it on a rack in my garage, and I take my herbs. The best time to harvest most herbs is in the morning after the dew is gone. So I shoot for about 10 o'clock in the morning. And if the dew is gone, if you dry it up, I cut the herbs, I take them in, I put them on the screen. Okay. Early in the morning, the oils in the plant have been in the roots for overnight. They shoot up into the plant, they go up into the plant. They're the strongest that they are in the morning. But you want to get it after the dew is gone. So that's the best time to harvest herbs. So I harvest them then. I air dry them in the shade. If it's something I'm going to keep, I keep it on that screen. I may cut the individual leaves out and then flip them over and just make sure that they're totally dry, and then I'll chop them up in the jar. Those dehydrators work good too. Put it in a dehydrator. Keep the little round ones or whatever that blow air through, but keep the settings on low. You don't want to do too much heat. So it's like if you can do it at like 100 or something like that. Do that, and you can dehydrate them that way. The tinctures, you can do alcohol tinctures, you can do glycerin tinctures, you can do vinegar tinctures. They all work. I don't mess with anything except for vodka, just because it stores such a long time. It works so good. Infused oils. I told you about the Kristen Smith's method. It's really superior to. This is arnica oil. This is my papa medicine. This is my plantain oil. My plantain medicine used to be about this color when I used to do it by putting it in oil, putting it in a cupboard, shaking it up after 6 weeks or so, and then straightening it out. It used to look like this. When I started doing it in the crock pot method, it comes out like this. It's so much darker, so much more, has so much more stuff in it, more of the goodness in it. It's just really, it's amazing. It's a little bit of a pain. You gotta have the crock pot on there. You gotta add, generally speaking, I do it, it says do it for 1 to 3 days. I do it for 2 days. And I have to add water to it to keep it going. You want a top on it because you don't want water to get into your oil. Keep the top on your jars, put it in that crock pot. No top on the crock pot. Put it on warm. You're going to have to add water to it a couple times to keep it in the crock pot from growing dry. But I'll tell you, it's the best way.
Do you have it on low?
Oil in the sand.
Do
You put your crack bottle on.
What's that?
Oh, and she just said low. The crack bottle.
I'm low.
What oil is used for that?
I use olive oil.
Okay.
Some people use coconut oil, which I guess it kind of really, I've never tried coconut oil, but I just use olive oil. I don't think that a lot of the seed oils that you see are that good for you. Canola oils and all those other things, I just don't think that they're that healthy. So I stick with olive oil and do it. But I've heard a lot of good things about coconut oil too. You can also make infused honey. I'm a beekeeper, and so I haven't done it yet, but I've read a lot about garlic infused honey. If you take garlic cloves, put it in honey, and infuse them in there, you get all the goodness of the garlic's a really good herb. I just don't want to smell like garlic. But there's something about it, kind of mellows out the garlic smell. If you feel a cold coming on and stuff, you can take one of those cloves out and eat it. It doesn't taste like that much like garlic anymore. It's really good for you. Honey is really good for you. If you raise your own bees, or you find a local beekeeper that gives you real honey. You want honey that's unfiltered, natural, raw honey. And so when we do our honey, I make my honeycombs at home. I take the caps off of them. I've got a extractor now that it twirls it around and all the honey comes out. It's still got all the pollen and all the good stuff in there that makes that honey stronger and better. It's good. She makes sourdough bread. She puts the honey in the bread.
Samples?
I don't know how I live. We haven't bought bread in probably 7 or 8 years. For the longest time, we grind our own wheat and make our own wheat bread. And then she started making sourdough bread. And sourdough bread's like, you ever seen that movie, The Little Shop of Horrors? There's that thing, there's this sourdough is like that. It sits on your counter and it says, "Feed me, Mary Lou, feed me." And so she adds more stuff to it, and she makes bread a couple times a week. And I tell you, it's so good. And it's rich in all those probiotics and all those things that are good for you. And it has no chemicals in it. And those are some of the things that I'm really trying to stay away from, is the chemical additives that really mess it up. So we do the sourdough bread. You can make capsules now. They make those little capsule makers with gelatin capsules. I did it for a little while, but I just said, heck with it, I'm on with the tinctures. But I could do cayenne. I could put it in the capsules and I could take them, and then I didn't have it burn in my mouth. I just decided I would top it out and just go ahead and go with the tinctures with it. Teas are good to do. So if you make your teas, just remember that they're going to wear out in a couple of years. You're going to have to replace them and stuff like that. And some things are really good. Many teas are great. I just love them.
Having a hard time hearing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
I'll speak up. So, but teas are really good. So those are good. Like I said, the enemies of your things are light and temperature. So you want cool, dark, and dry. It's the best thing that you can do to make your herbs going. When you build your apothecary, keep an inventory. Work out labels and stuff like that. Like I said, the biggest lie you'll tell yourself is, I'll remember what that is. I've got one jar in my apothecary that I don't have a clue what it is. I leave it there to haunt me It's gonna say, okay, dummy, I've got you, and I don't want it ever to happen again. So I got this jar, it sits up there, I don't have a clue what it is. Maybe I'll make Mary Lou drink it, see if it.
Yeah, right.
Cinnamon is a good herb, but not all cinnamon is created equal. There's a cinnamon called Ceylon cinnamon, and it is the Cadillac of cinnamon. The other cinnamon is made with a weaker part of the cinnamon thing. Ceylon cinnamon is the richest, strongest part there. So if you're gonna do cinnamon, we pitched all of our old cinnamon, and we bought from Mount House Herbs a pound package of Ceylon cinnamon. And I make tincture out of it, and we put it in all of our different cinnamon shakers and all that kind of stuff. It has a better flavor, I think, than regular cinnamon does, but it's got all that herbal goodness that's in it. And then I told you about the teaspoon dropper to do that. I think I've covered just about all the material that I wanted to cover. And if you have any questions or anything, I'd be glad to.
What was the three herbs that you had for the gum rinse?
I had toothpick plant, tall seed, and other.
And calendula.
Calendula?
Calendula.
Okay.
Calendula. So there's two of the seeds are right there. Calendula and toothpick plant are there, and I grow calendula and toothpick plant both in hanging baskets. And calendula, the only part of the plant that's good is the flowers. So when I try to pick them on the second day. So my calendula plant will bloom, and I'll look and I'll say, well, okay, there's four flowers on it. The next day I'll pick those 4 flowers and I'll put them on my screen. And then as I get more, I'll add them to them. And I talked about labeling. Label stuff on your screen too. I have little cards. I've got the screen set up in my garage in the dark. And I have these little cards. And a Sharpie. And so if I know what a calendula flower looks like, I can see what anywhere know what it is. I write calendula on it and I put it next to the screen. When I harvest plantain, I tell plantain in my sleep. I put plantain on my card in the screen. I label all that stuff on the screen so that I'm 100% sure of what I get, because some of these stuff starts to look alike.
Dry.
Yeah, and especially when it dries.
I'm wondering, do you have a tincture or something for high cholesterol?
I do. Elderberry is good for cholesterol. Ginger, I buy, Sam's Club sells organic ginger root. And I buy organic ginger root, and I take it and I shred it up. I put it on the thing to wilt overnight, and I make tincture out of it. So ginger's good. Hawthorn's good. Sage is good. So I grow, one of my perennial herbs is white sage. I grow sage. So I make tincture out of that. So those are some of the ones that I use for cholesterol.
And those are all tinctures?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
I did some research with some health issues that I have, and I started taking Tulsi, the holy basil. And I at first wasn't sure it was doing anything, but after about a week into 2 weeks, I noticed a big difference, as well as taking the ashwagandha. But you had said you should probably only do it maybe 6 weeks. Or can I just, because I'm really feeling a lot better, do I just do one for 6 weeks, stop, and then maybe take the basil? Would it be okay to do them both and continue, or, 'cause I know you said to like come at it from different angles.
Tulsi's an adaptogen, and it's one of those, that's one of the fancy words, but it's one of them that you can take on a regular basis.
Okay.
But I would take one of those books, and I would look up whatever issue it is that you're trying to fight.
Mm-hmm.
I would look it up and I'd find out which herbs did it, and I'd tell you, you'll do a whole lot better attacking it from different angles. So,
Okay.
so we take Tulsi for 6 or 8 weeks, and then we switch off. Something
Okay.
else, we take that for 6 or 8 weeks, and then we switch off. Tulsi's one of those things that you can kind of take all the time, probably
Go ahead and take every day.
but it would be more powerful if you could find another herb that you
Okay.
can find it at, and come at it at a different angle.
Okay.
And try it and see what you think.
Okay. Okay.
And it's funny, but if you got high blood pressure, they give you a blood pressure pill. You can take that pill, and your blood pressure may go down the next day. An herb doesn't do it like that. It takes, like I said, it takes a couple weeks or whatever to work. If it comes like that, but it's a whole lot better for your body all the way through.
Back to the cholesterol thing, when you said that you mix it up, would I mix it up, change it out, or?
I do.
Or the elderberry, maybe a week or something, and then?
Well,
or how
I
would
think
you
I'd
do it?
go a little longer than that. I like to go that 6 or 8 weeks, because like she says, it took a couple of weeks and then all of a sudden she started feeling it. So I would take it for a regimen. I take it for 6 to 8 weeks, and then I would switch it up to the other.
Okay, sounds good, thank you.
When I started working on my cholesterol, I was taking a statin drug, and they're terrible. There's so many bad things that happen with the statin drug. And I went to my doctor, and my cholesterol was good, and I started taking cholesterol meds, or cholesterol herbs. And so my cholesterol was way down there. I said, I want to stop taking the statin. And he said, well, I'll tell you what, he said, stop taking the statin, come back in 3 months, and if your cholesterol's still down, you're good to go. I stopped taking the statin, came back 3 months, my cholesterol's been good ever since then. That's been 7 years or so ago. So, you can do it, like I said, I'm fighting with my blood pressure right now. My blood pressure wants to creep up there. So I've been attacking it with generally 2 herbs a day for the 6 to 8 weeks. And I hit it with another 2 herbs for another 6 to 8 weeks. And then I rotate back and forth. And so far I got a little blood pressure machine at home and stuff, and I'm bringing stuff back down. But and another thing that I'm doing to fight the blood pressure is salt. I really just tried to eliminate salt out of my diet as much as I can. I went out for a fish fry the other night, and I had fried fish and French fries. That's the first salt I've had in quite a long time. But I try to leave the salt alone, and I try to. I look for foods. What foods are good for fighting cholesterol? Apples, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Like the apples, walnuts are good for cholesterol. I eat half a dozen walnuts. Just get the halves there, and I eat on those. Another thing that we started doing is I've got this. What's the name of that book? But we started making a prebiotic yogurt. Your gut health is like really important with everything that goes on in your body. So for years now, we've made our own Greek yogurt, just regular yogurt, and that we eat. It's really good stuff. But we started making this prebiotic yogurt, and it's different. It's got different stuff in it, and that's I can't remember what the name of the book was. But we got this book that told about it stuff, so I've been taking that too. So that's another thing. And when we make our Greek yogurt, we got this yogurt strainer with the yogurt in it. The whey goes down and stuff. I drink about half a cup of whey every day too. It's got all kinds of probiotics in it. It's high in protein and other good things.
You make that in your Instant Pot.
Yes.
Good.
Any other questions? I've got a few plants to give away and stuff. How we're gonna do it?
Well, Tracy's
I've
got
got the lottery thing
the
here.
thing here, so everybody can take, pass it out, take a number or whatever.
So I'll hold on to this. Alright, you pass those out to everybody.
This is done with this number. I'm gonna finish this side of
Yes,
We both like both of them, so it doesn't matter. I'll
Right.
open up a can of.
when you make it,
Yeah, because then you can cut the salt. Oh. You want to cut the salt and use the salt substitute. Substitute that we had at home.
I might depend on what he calls, right?
And then.
Some of those things are.
I got a 9.
You get to take them home.
that's right, we have lots of these plants all over the place.
Oh, you tell me. You tell me.
And any number is?
Yeah, really.
Oh, that's a good number.
Daniel, I think I've watched right, 5.
You know what, I think I have something about that one.
You're a winner.
You're a winner,
That's the
winner.
best number. You got 7.
Oh.
Everybody got a number?
You wanna see a picture of my dog?
Everybody's got a number?
That's Thor.
Pull one out. We have to go through several of them. Where we-
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's his dad.
Anyone have 34?
What was that one?
34?
What?
34.
34. Oh.
You have it?
Yeah, 34. I thought you.
Well, you can pick one of these. This is what I got. I've got 3 L campaign plants. I've got 4 valerian plants. I've got 1 toothache plant, and I've got 1 apple mint. And that's just a crop.
One planting. Oh, that's.
And this is figures right here.
That's planted. It's just
What's her name?
That one is Belle, that one is changing, that's Charlie.
This is valerian.
They're standard kudos.
Or
yes,
One
that's
that's the red.
valerian.
Right.
Yeah, all these are valerian.
oh, okay.
Unless you're gonna, that way, it's all.
L campaign is
Phones are.
West
like
Dog.
an antibiotic kind of a
I'm sorry, I don't know what you call them.
Fix something else.
I never had a problem. I take it.
Valerian, because it does go.
What's your next number?
So it's 55.
Is that 55?
Anybody have 11? 45?
Ring.
33?
Going in the right direction.
Close.
3? Wow,
Yeah.
it's a tough crowd.
Got the first one, and then that's it.
5?
That's me.
You do? Woohoo!
Got a number.
Yay!
We gotta prove it.
He's coming home with me, I'll do that. Pick a good one, honey.
No, you probably doesn't have one.
Okay.
I won.
21?
I got one.
You got 21?
Oh, one.
Oh.
No, I thought you said one.
Sorry about
I didn't
that.
hear the two.
32. Oh, we're getting
Got
closer.
to narrow it down somewhere.
1.
Right here.
I don't know what to call this.
And
I think that's a 9.
two things. This one. And then that was good for sleep. All those are the same.
This one's different. This one's like I did.
Anybody have 54?
One number away.
Did you get one?
No, but
I have two.
that's okay.
47. 43?
I'm your winner, chicken dinner. Bring back something good.
Bring him back
Thank
something
you.
good.
Yeah.
Either way, right?
Those are off the area.
Should never send her. Should get this.
Yeah.
Should we put them back to their mom?
Yay.
What one's that?
Valerian.
Oh,
I don't have one of these, so.
good.
Yeah.
48.
This is a Valerian one. These help you sleep. Puppies.
2. Number 2? Ooh, 3 of them. 16. Now this, we have a question. Is this a 6? Or is it a 9?
Either
Who's got
one.
9?
Which one?
Anybody got,
Six.
you got 9, sweetie?
9 or 6.
Okay.
We'll take it, 9 or 6, get up here.
I have the other one, so.
Just a pen.
Tell her she was wrong, tell her it was yours.
Now it's like, which one?
I'll take that one. Thank you.
All right. I have 8. Anybody have 8? 53. That's me. All right.
I know which one I'm taking, sorry, Amy.
I know where to get it.
I have a son that gets mouth sores a lot, so.
That'll do it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 7?
That'd be good.
Anybody
We'll
have
pick that another
7?
bite.
Go ahead.
You have it?
Yeah, I'm number 7.
7, all right.
Alright, take them one each. Explanation.
Number 10. Anybody have 10? No?
He got half barrels and made that with the dice.
For what?
41.
Oh,
27.
got it.
Just keeping our eye on you. 28. 29. I don't, yeah. Keep going. 25. 25? Oh, what's my number? That's my number. How was I call it? I didn't even think about it. 24.
I think you did call it.
28.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you did.
Oh,
So you read it.
Go.
do I? Oh. Helps to pay attention. I'm curious about this one.
But you wanna research and see what it.
You only have one left?
One left.
Okay, one left.
Here we go. Okay, 6 or a 9?
Got the other one.
There it goes.
We only need one.
So sweet.
Oh,
Alright.
Is it a different plant?
yes.
You can have it.
Go ahead, want me to just scoop these back in here?
There's one more?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Oh, do you want my number?
There's other. What? Who didn't get what? A plant?
Thank you very much.
There's a lady here.
I was gonna get one.
Does anybody still have their little number thingies?
That's even comes in films.
Sorry. Anybody else?
Anybody else can get one?
I actually wasn't in here when you were passing out the numbers.
Is there anybody that
It's
didn't
good.
sign
I mean,
this or put their email, cell phone on it to be contacted? Or to receive,
Okay, this will work, either one, this will work.
cause I can
My husband
email
has a lot
you
of
Steve's
joint
handouts
pain.
too.
I have,
And there's seed
I have a
packets up
I have a
here, too.
sister that's dealing with a
Oh, the seed
head
packets
cold
up
and
there?
Yeah, I
sinus.
just don't want her to forget
It's
to.
been close to a week. What would you recommend? What, mullet? Okay, I have some. Oh, okay, I know that's good for the chest, that's what I
That's what I
tried.
thought too, but I thought.
Okay, I have some of that too. Okay, I have elderberry and I do a lot of mullein because of my husband's chest issues in the winter, so I do have some of that, so I will get her some of that. Okay, thank you.
Let's talk about it.
You got it, yeah.
Did you fill this out?
How many weeks in our church there? Yeah, it's right on the expressway. Even Sykesman's
Yeah, you should have an idea for, yeah.
kind of mind numbers.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Well, she gave me the plan, so.
He absorbs it and then he goes to talk about it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
all
you
good
can tell.
stuff.
Yeah, I think so.
You wanna smell it?
Oh, there's lots of seed packets up there, so go ahead and you take one of each if you want. There's 4 different kinds, so you're welcome to that. And, I don't know if anybody has any more questions, I'll answer them if I can, if not.
Here I am.
Do you, teach how to do tinctures or how to make the salves?
Well,
Does he teach it?
you know,
Yeah.
Oh, there's.
Yeah, I've done, the best way, if you're gonna make a tincture, get your 80 proof vodka, 85 proof vodka, okay? If I was gonna make it out of plantain, I'd take the leaves out of the plantain plant, I'd put them on my screen at night. Or I'd put them on the screen, and I'd let them set on that screen overnight. And then you can see it's already starting to lose some of the water. It's gonna wilt. That's gonna take some of the water out of it. Then I'm gonna take my plantain, I'm gonna put it in the jar.
After it's fully dry?
No.
No?
Just wilt.
Oh.
Just takes a little
Okay.
bit of the, and then I put it in the jar, and I take scissors, and I stick it in the mouth of the jar, and I would chop it up. Okay? Chop it up, and I take the jar, and I have it about, half to 3/4 full. And then I fill it full of vodka,
Okay.
put the lid on it, shake it up, put it in a dark cupboard,
That's simple.
8 weeks. Easy.
Wow.
Indeed.
Okay.
Infused oils totally dry the herb. So I put it on the screen, I put the herbs on the screen, label it,
Yeah.
totally dry them, till they're like paper dry. And then I would take that herb, I'd stick it in my blender, and I'd blend it up. And I would just blend it up really fine. And then I would take that, and I'd put it in my jar. I don't usually do big batches of oils at a time, so I put it in there, and I'd take a jar, maybe about this big. Okay, I'd take that dried herb, and I'd put about that much of it in the jar. And then I'd put my olive oil on it, I'd put my lid on it, I'd stick it in the crock pot, no lid on the crock pot, but a lid on the jar, and I would fill the crock pot with water until it was about that full. I'd put it on warm, and I'd let it set for 2 days. Okay. When I'm done with it,
You have to keep adding water into the crock pot because
to
it,
keep it,
yeah, it evaporates.
so usually like I might start it at like 10 o'clock in the morning or something. I'd add water to it at night. Next morning I'd get up, I'd add water to it, I'd add water to the next night, and then that third day, after it's been 2 days, 2 full days, then I'd take it out of there. I've got we've got a strainer, just a regular strainer. And I take the strainer and I put it on, it's got little hooks on it, goes on a bowl. So I got a bowl, put the strainer on it, and I take a white cotton cloth, and I put that on there, and then I dump all this in there. And I take a spatula, and I scrape everything out of it, because I don't want to lose any of it. I scrape it out, and I put it in there. And then I put this jar away. You can either blend it out, or I just get a clean jar. I take this, put that away, and then I take that potato, first I'll squeeze it out, and I'll squeeze all the oil out of it that I can. And then I'll twist it up, and I'll put it in that potato ricer, and I'll squeeze it out. Do it while it's warm, because it comes out easier while it's warm. Squeeze that, squeeze all the juice out of it like it owes you money, and then you have your infused oil. Now, if I'm gonna make a salve, I take 100 grams by weight. Here, I just got my little scale. 100 grams of oil by weight, and 11 grams of shredded up beeswax.
Oh,
Okay.
beeswax.
And so I shred up the beeswax, 11 grams of shredded beeswax, 100 grams of oil. I take that jar and I take the ring, the canning ring that goes on a canning jar. I just put that ring in the bottom of a pot. I put water in it, and I set that jar on top of it with no lid on it. And I turn a low heat on it. You don't want to boil it, just put a low heat on it, and then I add that beeswax to the oil, and I take a chopstick, or a skewer, those little wooden skewers that we make.
Chopsticks.
Shish kebabs,
Yeah.
shish kebabs,
Yeah.
and I stir it, And I just keep it on the low heat and I stir it, and as soon as all of that beeswax is melted in there, I take the jar out, I wipe it with a towel, wipe all the moisture off of it, and I have my jars ready, and I pour it in all my jars, and you have sap.
So it's,
This is the beeswax mixed with the already infused oil?
Yes.
Okay.
so you do the infused oil, you don't just do the herb in there. You use infused oil and beeswax.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've
So
got,
that's what you used to make this?
Right.
so it's two processes.
Now, what if you use coconut oil instead of the olive oil? You wouldn't have to use the beeswax, it would, because it solidifies at room temperature.
That won't.
It won't?
It'll just be oil, you'll have infused, all you have is infused oil.
Well, coconut oil though does get hard.
It does.
It does.
Coconut oil, yes, I've never used coconut oil, and I've had heard a lot of good things about coconut oil.
Coconut oil.
So you'd have to experiment with it, so what you could do is, you could use coconut oil, put it all together, and check the texture out, see if you like that. If you want it a little bit thicker, heat it back up gently, and then put some beeswax in it, and then thicken it up. But if it comes out at a good consistency, then you're good to go. But remember, anytime that you're doing stuff, excess heat is the enemy. So when you're working with stuff, you want to try to keep that you want to try to keep that heat as low as you can. Get done what you want to get done, take it off of there and let it cool off.
So you had 11 grams of beeswax and
100 grams of oil.
of oil.
Infused oil.
So this
Infused.
comfrey cayenne, did they have equal portions of the two herbs when you infuse the oil?
Yes, what I do is I make cayenne, I make comfrey oil, and I make cayenne oil. Okay, and then I measure it. So when I'm making that, I use 50 grams of cayenne, 50 grams of comfrey,
And then the beeswax?
and then the beeswax, and then make it together.
Okay.
Okay. So it's good
And you
to have.
said that when you're making the infused oil, you fill it half full with the herb, dried herb, is that what you said?
Yeah, so generally speaking, it's really not an exact science.
But approximately.
So I would
Yes.
fill the jar about half full of the dried chopped herb. And then I would pour oil in it, and I would try to cover it maybe by about a half an inch of oil. So I pour oil in and cover it by a half an inch, and then I would shake it up. Now tomorrow, if I pull it out and I look at it, and there's no oil on top of it, I'm gonna add a little bit more oil to it.
Because it might have absorbed.
Right, right.
Is what kind of oil is that you're putting on top of that? Is that the olive oil?
Olive oil is what I use.
You use the refined olive oil?
Extra virgin olive oil.
You use the virgin oil.
Yep.
And I think you're right. If you use the coconut oil, you probably wouldn't need as much beeswax.
Right, yep.
Because it firms up.
I've never messed with it, but it's kind of been on my radar or something to do
Yeah,
someday.
yeah.
But sometimes when you got a program and it just works.
Yeah, you got a system.
There's so much other stuff to do, it's hard to branch out, but I think it's good.
The comfrey, what parts do you use, the flower and the
I just
leaf?
use the leaves.
The leaf.
Yep.
What are the flowers for? Is that where you get your seeds?
Yeah, but Russian comfrey is sterile, so it won't make seeds, so that's what makes it less invasive. But the honeybees still seem to like it, so honeybees love comfrey flowers, so.
That'd be good. Do you use comfrey internally or just externally in a poultice? Because I've heard controversy over.
That's the $10,000 question.
Okay.
I know people who use, one of my internet friends grew up Amish. Her brother smashed his fingers with a hammer and an anvil. He went to the hospital, went to the doctor. He had shattered bones in his fingers and stuff. They kind of stitched him together and said, "We don't know if you're going to lose your fingers or not." He went home. His mother gave him 10 capsules of comfrey powder. I talked about the capsule machine. Gave him 10 capsules of comfrey powder 3 times a day. She put comfrey poultices on his fingers. In a week, he went back to see the doctor, and the bones were healing, and the doctor was just amazed. He has full use of his hand today. There's people that say that comfrey's bad for you, that's going to hurt you and stuff. There's other people that say you can do it. So, like I said, the whole herbal thing's not an exact science. There's going to be some people that are going to tell you that this is poison, and some people say it's good, and you just got to hear it. Different directions, and we all have to kind of make up our own minds about what we're going to do.
What about when you what did you put on yourself when you stabbed your wrist or something?
I had a razor knife, and I had a zip tie, and I was trying to cut the zip tie, and about halfway through the cut, I went, you dumb. It was bad. I cut my wrist pretty seriously right there with the razor knife, a big cut. And I had a yarrow plant nearby. I grabbed a yarrow plant, I wadded it up, I stuck it on there, I put some black electrical tape on it because I'm just a guy. The yarrow stopped the bleeding. I should have probably got, they would have told me you should get stitches for it, but I put the yarrow on it. I kept on doing what I was doing, and about an hour later I took it off, and the bleeding stopped and everything. I put more yarrow on it, and I taped it down with some medical tape this time, and it all healed up just fine. Now, if you get yarrow, there's different kinds. You don't want yarrow that has colors. You don't want yellow yarrow, you don't want red yarrow, you want plain white yarrow. That's the strong medicinal kind, so make sure you get the good
That's also the one that doesn't spread too, right?
What's that?
That's the one that doesn't spread.
I've got it spread. It's coming out and stuff. I was gonna look before I came out here and think I would do plans, but I just got.
We know we should for you.
But the good thing about yarrow is it'll spread, but you can just pull it out, and it'll pretty much behave itself. You just gotta pull it out every so often. I generally pull it out like I go to church.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
I told people, I said, the biggest thing for me is I've given several of these classes in our church and stuff, and there's always like 4 or 5 people that just take it and run with it, and it just does my heart good to see people that really take skills and run with it, and they use it, and things like that. So I hope it works for all of you.
Thank you.
There's some more seats there if anybody wants some.
Where are you going to proceed?